Hey everybody, this is Eric and welcome to my channel, and I'm excited to share with you the topic today is appraisals. With appraisals, a lot of people get confused on what they're for, but typically they end up being the final word on what the value of a home actually is. And typically they're done after an offer has been made during the escrow period. Some sellers will get an appraisal beforehand just so they know what their house is worth, so they list it for that exact price when selling it. Sometimes an appraisal isn't even necessary. This happens when a buyer comes in with cash and they just buy it outright. They could get an appraisal, but it's not required because an appraisal is typically required by a lender when they're deciding how much they're going to loan on a house or an asset. So say the house appraises for $200,000, a bank will typically lend, up to 90%, 95%, depending on the loan type that you're using. So what happens when the appraisal comes in lower than the offer price? Well, in this situation, a buyer could back out because it didn't meet the appraisal requirements that are built into the contract to protect a buyer. And the seller could also not be willing to sell the price for that appraised value, which is lower than the offer price they received. So that's where they need to find a compromise. This can happen by the seller, lowering the offer price, allowing it to go down to the appraised value so the bank will lend on it, or the buyer can come up with additional cash or funds to cover that gap. That's why it's important when you're looking to buy a home, especially in really competitive areas, price points, to have extra cash in place. If you really do love the home, you might be the one having to make up that difference to get up to that offer value from the appraised value to make the seller happy. In our competitive market here along the Wasatch Front in Davis County, especially in really aggressive price points, 200 to 300,000, we've had some appraisal issues. They're not coming in for what houses are getting bid up to. And so that's something that we as buyers and sellers need to figure out what we're gonna do when that happens, before it actually happens. So be ready for that. If this has happened to you, or if it's happening to you now, that's when we need to sit down together and make a plan about what's going to be best in your situation to get you the home you love for the price that's right. And whether that's you coming in with more cash, a gift from family, or just walking away from that certain offer and finding something different that fits your budget better. But that's when we can sit down and really make a decision. So if you're interested in buying or selling a property, feel free to reach out to me anytime. My number's below. It's 801-660-9173, and we can have a discussion on how to be best prepared for this competitive market. Again, thanks for watching my channel, and subscribe and hit the ring button so you can be updated, when these new videos come out. Thanks.